My friends, it's a lovely day at Costco because the new sale started yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, there's not a ton of great stuff in the June-July coupon book, but there are a handful of nuggets, so we're gonna do what we always do. Walk around my favorite store, Costco, show you what to buy, what to avoid, but more importantly, how to read the ingredients on the back of the product so you're putting the best stuff in your body and your family's body. Before we do our shopping haul, I also want you to check out thrivemarket.com using my promo link down below. They are an 8-year supporter of the channel, which is cool. But really the reason why I like them is everything you'd find at pretty much any grocery store is on Thrive Market, but it's cheaper. You save about $32 per order and the box comes to your home. You don't even have to leave your house if you don't want to. My link down below will get you 30% off your first order and a free gift. And as always, I'll type out a list of my fave items from Thrive Market, both food and personal care, and put it down below. So check it out, you'll love it. Less talking, more shopping. Let's go. I'm not big on kitchen gadgets, but this is one I can get behind because I like to save money by not wasting food, and I hate beautiful steaks and seafood getting freezer burned. This is a vacuum seal machine. If you can see over the mountain here, it's $25 off. It's $74.99, and I really like it because it extends the shelf life of food. Now, I need help. I've shown this on stories many times. There's a setting here for like marinade, and this is different than mine at home. This has the moist setting. Oh, that's a trigger word for a lot of people online, but it has a moist setting here, which every time I use the wet marinade feature at home, it still sucks up all of like the juice of the marinade into the tray, and I have to clean it. If anybody knows a setting on like the Food Saver that will prevent that, I'm dying to know, because I love to marinate in here because it sucks a lot of the air out and that forces the marinade into the meat. I did that recently with like an Asian marinade on some chicken thighs. It's great. Pro tip, if you buy the machine here and need refills, walk around the corner. They have the Kirkland brand vacuum seal bags now. They're a great deal compared to the brand name from Food Saver. So bags over here, machine over here. If you have any tips on how not to get the juice in there, you leave them down below also. Well, if you have x-ray vision, you can see through the curtain here. They're doing some kind of refrigeration maintenance, and they have chicken sausages from a brand I haven't seen here that are perfectly Bobby approved. We've seen a lot of good grass-fed sausages. We've seen organic chicken burgers we talked about in last week's video. These are organic chicken and apple sausage. Now there's two varieties. There's the plain ones, which are not Bobby approved because they have regular GMO chicken. Then they have the organic apple ones from Adele's. I haven't seen that variety here, and it's currently 3 pounds off. Obviously, you can't reach behind there, but right before we start, $4.30 off. Thank you, Leilani was giving me the stink eye. Right before we started, all of these things, take a look real quick, Leilani. All of these are sectioned off. And I said to Leilani, I guarantee it's just a matter of time before somebody reaches behind, and literally 2 seconds later, an old lady was reaching behind for some Kerrygold cheese or something. But if you look at the ingredients of these organic chicken sausages, organic non-GMO chicken, organic apples, which is lovely because they're on the Dirty Dozen list, organic chicken stock, apple juice, sea salt, spices, and a pork casing. If you're halal or kosher, unfortunately you can't have it because it is a pork casing, but it's a really good sausage that hopefully people can start grabbing really soon at $4.30 off, so it's $3.56 for organic chicken sausage. If you want to buy organic ground chicken yourself to make sausage at home, it's going to cost you more per pound just for the sausage, for the chicken, than it is for the pre-made Bobby approved product here. The alarm keeps going off today. It's a wacky day at Costco, but these are wacky deals on the Bobby approved sausage. Update on the ice maker saga that's been going on. If you watch my top 10 things to buy at Costco for the summer video last week, I upgraded to the Frigidaire Gallery and returned the small one that took forever to make. The verdict is in. It's amazing. In 2 hours, it filled the entire bucket here with nugget ice. It has this beautiful stainless steel thing here. I transferred the nuggets to the freezer for future use, but if you want to keep it plugged in, it will keep the ice cubes frozen for a long time. It's $50 cheaper here than the best price I saw online. I love it. And speaking of summer stuff, there's a griddle toolkit here, all stainless steel. If you want to make smash burgers, they have a massive spatchy here and a spray bottle in case you get flare-ups on the grill. Hi, this is amazing. The Bobby approved Fudge Bars that we literally talked about last week are now on sale. Perfect timing for summer grilling and chilling. If you haven't watched my video from last week, click over at the end. It's the top 10 things to buy at Costco this summer. And It's a little surprising because when you pick up the Fudge Bars, you will notice 8 grams of cane sugar here, but every other ingredient is perfect. So it is Bobby approved because when you compare it to the alternative of frozen ice cream bars, you can have a little bit of sugar. But when you start adding like a lot of sugar or corn syrup or canola oil like all the others have, no bueno. Everything else here has organic dairy, real vanilla beans. So when you're living in dessert land or chocolate land, a little bit of sugar is okay sometimes as long as the rest of the ingredients are perfect. And you're talking about 47 cents a bar. If you want a really good and the only Bobby approved frozen dessert here at Costco, scoop this one especially with the deal. There's some yummy coconut water on sale. And once again, this is a great reference to last week's video. There's a lot of tie-ins between this and the top 10 things to buy at Costco this summer. In that video, I showed my favorite coconut water actually lives yonder in the refrigerated section because it's superior for many reasons. But a lot of people will get this. It's this Vita Coco on sale. 2 things about this. Because this is shelf stable, it's pasteurized with ultra high temperature heat to make it shelf stable. You do nuke some, actually all of the living nutrition in there, which is why I like the refrigerated one. Refrigerated one also tastes better. But I don't know why Vita Coco adds 1 gram of cane sugar to this when coconut water is so sweet. Yes, avoid sugar when possible. Not possible when you're getting frozen chocolate bars like those Fudge Bars earlier. Here it's easily doable because if I just take 2 paces backwards, I get the Kirkland organic coconut water. It clearly says no added sugar on here, and it doesn't have it. And guess what? It's the same price. It's 0.65 cents per ounce. It's actually cheaper. The Vita Coco is a little more expensive. This is superior. So if you are looking for a shelf-stable one, just because you might want to have it around, the Kirkland one is the way to go. If you want the best ones, go to the refrigerator aisle and get the Kirkland one or the Harmless Harvest. But like I said in last week's video, the Harmless Harvest one is so much superior flavor. It's sweeter, it's floral, and the natural sugars are actually a little bit less. Well, I am drinking electrolytes right now. It's certainly not liquid IV, but I told Leilani I guarantee they're gonna sell a boatload of this stuff because the price is right. But I've ragged on this for years because they call themselves the hydration multiplier. And yes, you could make the argument for a touch of cane sugar when you're really dehydrated, but 1 stick is 16 grams total. And of those 16 grams, 11 of them are pure cane sugar. You're paying for sugar. And there's barely any hydrating minerals in here, and there's a little bit of B vitamins. And now people always say to me, yes, Bobby, but they have a new sugar-free one. And yes, that's great because they're using a fantastic sweetener, not a fake one. Allulose, a great sweetener, but there's still barely any minerals. The only one really is potassium, then a few B vitamins, and that's it. You need hydrating minerals when it comes to hydration, dehydration, and all that jazz. So I wouldn't get that. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the best ones here. Mine is the only one on the market that uses real organic fruit to flavor it, not natural flavors. And when you talk about hydrating minerals, you need calcium, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium. I got them all, more than the competition. And I use unrefined salt from the USA, which is why I call it hydration done right. I see these guys everywhere now. Celsius is the sponsor of the Florida Panthers, and I went to game 2 of the Stanley Cup last week. Jake Paul holds it during his podcast and everything, and it's very popular and it's on sale. But there's not one, I repeat, one Bobby approved energy drink on the market for many reasons. And a lot of them will oftentimes use one of the worst sweeteners on the market, sucralose, AKA Splenda. I don't know why people aren't just using stevia and or monk fruit, because those are natural sweetener alternatives. Sucralose is a man-made artificial one. Think of the things like Splenda, Sweet and Low, NutraSweet. Those are all artificially made, man-made, horrific sweeteners. Actually, a study came out last year that showed those artificial sweeteners can actually break your DNA and cause issues over time. They do have some decent ingredients in there. I actually like guarana and taurine. Those are actually really good for you. But then when you combine it with the horrible sucralose, and I'm gonna bet that the majority of the energy from this comes from the caffeine. There's green tea extract and the caffeine is 200 milligrams. So that's a lot. Combine that with natural flavors, which they all have. I mean, one day I might have to come out with a Clean Bobby approved Flav City version. But in the meantime, if you want an energy drink, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. coffee or tea, and that's it. This stuff is just not good for you. I scoured the entire coffee section, and this Costco location in Florida still doesn't have single origin coffee. If your Costco has it, it's the best, because single origin means it comes from one place. There's traceability, and it's always superior. When you have blends, it could be beans from many different regions, which doesn't mean it's bad. It's just usually slightly inferior, and you lose the traceability. But if you need to buy one right now, this Pete's one here, Major Dickinson's blend, it's $2 for whole beans at $11.99. It's still good coffee, but do me a favor. I've said this before. When you open this vacuum seal bag here, it's gonna start to lose its flavor very quickly. What are we looking at here?
You said $2.
Did I say $2? I wish it was, no, it's not. If it was $2, everyone buys it. 2 pounds for $11.99. I oftentimes say things wrong. I can see Leilani's stink eye go, so I know something's wrong there. It's $11.99, so it's $6 a pound, which is a decent deal. But when you buy big size coffees like this, keep in mind your peak freshness is not gonna be too long. This is whole bean coffee. So if I were to rip this open right now, technically you only have 14 days of peak freshness before the essential oils start to dry out and the essential oils are the flavor. Now you can prolong that by putting these in a vacuum seal bag when you're done. So if I open these now, grind enough coffee for a couple cups of Joe, and then re-vacuum sealed it, yes, you're saving the shelf life, and you can do that because the vacuum sealer is on sale. Oh my God, there's so much noise here today, it's crazy. Between the alarms and the cold chest going off, more and more people reaching their arms underneath the things to get their cheese and their sausages, it's crazy. So this is a good deal. Just keep in mind, drink it fast or vacuum seal it, but don't put it in your freezer because that freezer does not extend the shelf life of coffee beans. It actually makes the shelf life shorter because it causes the beans to schwitz, to sweat, and the flavor goes away even more, and it can soak up flavors and aromas of the freezer like onions and whatnot. I've got to show you the craziest thing about these fruit by the foot that are on sale. We have berry, tie-dye, blue raspberry, strawberry. None of those fruits I just said are actually in here. The only fruit in all three is pear puree, and then it's natural flavors after that. So they just make up completely the flavor profile to whatever they want. And I'm sure a lot of parents might buy these for their kids, for their summer camp boxes and stuff like that, and they're on sale. But in addition to the problem I just said right there, is that always the second ingredient is sugar followed by corn syrup. And one roll has 8 grams of added corn syrup and sugar. That's 2 teaspoons of added sugar per roll, which is a lot. The only fruit in there is pear. And then you go into tons of preservatives like monoglycerides. You have carrageenan, which is inflammatory. So the easiest swap is just do the Michael Jackson moonwalk right here and get what Rose loves, the bare fruit rolls. All it is just fruit, the real fruit. Apple, pear, strawberry actually has apple, pears, and strawberries. Do I wish they were organic? Yes, but they're still Bobby approved and way better than that stuff by the foot. Please don't give that to your kids. All right, friends, that is it for the haul at Costco for what's on sale June and July. Like I said in the beginning, not the most exciting of hauls, but there's still a decent amount of things on sale that are Bobby approved. So run on down and check it out, and do check out thrivemarket.com using my promo link down below. As always, 30% off your first order and a free gift. And I typed out a list of all of my favorite Thrive Market items, both food and personal care, and put it down below. That's it. I'm going to do some shopping, then head home and do some cooking, but I leave you from my favorite place, Costco, like I always do. Hashtag keep on cooking. Mad love from me to you and your family, and peace. Bye.